April 8th, 2008, and this morning an interview will be conducted in the Sparta High School library featuring Mr. Frank Mooney. Please spell it for us.
My name is Frank Mooney. The last is M-O-O-N-E-Y.
He is a World War II veteran who will be interviewed based on his experience in World War II. The people who will be attending the interview are myself, Jacqueline Marks, Megan Byers, Ashley Kokoschka, Cindy Fandino, Zanab Muhammad, and Adam McLaughlin. Please state your birthday. Oh, and Katie Martin.
My birthday is August 3rd, 1926. You weren't around then.
What did you, when you weren't in a battle or on your way, what did you do for fun and to keep yourself occupied or pass the time?
No, we just sat around and gabbed, but you still had duties to do, like painting. Every time we get into port, the captain would say, "Okay, man, over the side," and you start painting the ship. And I swore that if a torpedo came at us, it'd never get through because there was so much paint on that thing, from painting.
How did your World War II experience help prepare you for life after the war?
Well, I was on my own, and I learned how to do my own laundry, and do my own cooking, and do my own whatever had to be done. It changed me from a young man to an older man. Let's put it that way. You learned more because you had to suit for yourself. You had to do things that Mama wasn't there to tell you to do your homework or something like that. See, so you had to. So it did change me into a better man, I guess. To go into manhood anyway. Of course, I was only 17 when I went in. So I still came out of school and went right into the service.
Well, this concludes my interview, and I would like to say that I'm very grateful and appreciative for your time and for you sharing your experience with me today.
Okay. That's one thing I could tell you, though, there's about an experience on board ship. We had a tall Negro fellow that was on board ship, and he used to work in the back end of the ship. But so we called him Slim, and he had size 16 shoe. And he wore out his shoes, so the carpenter had to make him like slippers to wear, his wooden slippers. So when the bell rang for what they call general quarters, if you had to go to your battle station, we'd hear Slim come down there, bloom, 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 bloom. You could hear him coming down. So he was down below, and he used to pass the ammunition up to the gunner up above him. But one day he was talking, and my ship was 301, and he said, "Frank," he said, "we're going to get it someday." He said, "We're going to get it." I said, "What do you mean we're going to get it?" He said, "Because it's 13. I said, "It's 301. He said, "No, it's 13. That's bad luck. We're going to get it." All right, Slim, I said, "Don't worry about it." I said, "They say that if you're going to get it, your name is on the bullet, you're going to get it." So he said, "I understand that." He said, "But the one that I'm concerned about is what it says, to whom it may concern."
So what was going through your head while you were involved in the battle?
When is it going to get over? When can I get out of here? I'm in the wrong place. Especially when they told us that, we would be on a destroyer escort, which would take up a torpedo if it was headed towards the big ship. So I raised my hand. I said, "Could I change ships?" And they said no.
In World War II, the entire nation was mobilized and in support of the soldiers. How do you feel today when you see divisiveness and the American support on the war on Iraq?
Well, it's something that had to be done. If we didn't do it, what people don't understand, if we didn't do it, you would have more terror right here in the United States, because that was their mark, to come over here and do as much damage as they could to this country. People in America don't realize, and probably when you interview some of these soldiers that were over in England and Germany and that, and saw all those bombings and things like what happened to cities that were completely wiped out, and the death of people. I mean, if that could have happened here, if we didn't do something to stop it. You got to stop it when it starts, before it gets any further. Sure, men are being killed, but that's what happens in war. You don't expect to be killed. Nobody expects to be killed, but it happens. It happens. But what they're doing is they're trying to make sure that you grow up and have a family and be able to support your family and go walk out the door and not have to worry about somebody come pass by and shooting you or something because you're an American or something like that, or whatever it may be. But the people that came over, that are left there, that were hurt, there's nothing really you can do about that now. So now one time, I never got seasick, but I got sick the last time we were outside of Okinawa, going into Okinawa, and then from there it would have gone into Japan. But we hit another typhoon that was wicked. We tilted 65 degrees. We were over like that almost. If there was another wave close enough, we would have been underwater. And we were all, our captain sent all the men below decks to keep the weight below decks. And we were in life jackets and that, and the compartments are all sealed once they're closed. You can open them, but and I was in there, and I thought, I'm never going to get out of this. I'll never get back home. And that made me sick. I was scared. And that was the only time. And that was the last typhoon we were in.